Through the basics on how to start the Komo up. So the first thing we got to do is turn the breaker on. It gets power to the machine.
Oops, sorry.
Alright, so the next step is to, once that's breaker has been turned on, is to come over here, and this is the power button. Focus if it will. Then wait for it to come on. Okay, so when it's booting up, it'll come to this screen that once you enter a password, what you need to do is take your mouse and navigate over here to the OK or cancel. You just want to hit cancel when it gets to that screen. And wait for some more. So the next thing that happens, it goes to a little bit of startup mode. But the next thing you're going to see actually come on the screen when it gets settled down, it's going to say ATC must be home. And the way you do that is, come back out here a little bit, is there are two buttons that need to be pushed simultaneously, and they are the same color and they are blue. The one on the top right here is a home button, which it's not focusing very well, but it says home. And down here is the tool changer. What you're going to do is hit those simultaneously at the same time, push those in. Now the next message it's going to say is ATC spindles must be empty. And so to empty that, we will walk around the machine, walk around the table here to this, and we are going to hit the open shroud button. We're going to reach our hand in here physically, grab a hold of this right down here, grab a hold of it with your hand, especially fall out. Then Andrew, tap this button right here that says drawbar, open drawbar at the top. There you go. So that releases this tool. Then we are going to put it back in the tool carousel. Just slide it back in there. Alright, so the next step is to run a spindle warm-up. And let's see. Up here in the top it says 09100. Lets us know the internal computer's memory is set up for a spindle warm-up. So what we'll need to do is come down here and hit, this is a memory, MEM it says. Hit that. And then one more thing, walk back over here around the corner of the machine. We'll have an oiler thing here to pressurize the oil. So you're going to pump this little handle till it's down, so you can't pump it anymore. That puts pressure on the oil to oil all the ways and oil all the parts. So we got the memory lit up. I'll have to hit down here. It says tool change, auto manual, which is not focusing very well, but there it goes. So I'll hit that. So I got that memory lit up, and my screen says 091. That lets me know it's for sure the spindle warm up. Now I'll hit start, the green start button. The message on the screen says the vacuum system has not been started. Normally that'd be a problem, but for this particular thing it doesn't matter. Hit the green button again, and we're off to the races. It's going to put in bit number 1, go down in position and start spinning and warming up. Alright, so it just sit there and spun for, I don't know, 5 minutes I'll call it. Didn't actually time it, maybe 10 or 3. So it stopped spinning, so I need to come back over here. It's not actually done yet. I need to hit the green start button again, and it will move to the far corner of the table. Drop down and do the same thing again for probably, I don't know how long, didn't time it, 5 minutes, we'll call it. Alright, so finally it quit warming up. We got through all that process. So the next thing to do is I'm going to take my mouse in my right hand here, and I'm going to, out here on the screen, I can find, there it is. I'm going to right click on the mouse. I'm going to say minimize. This is the CNC screen. What I want to open up is this DNC. So I'll double click it with the left double click, and let it open up. Now it's going to have this little message, and you're just going to say OK. Alright, now the very first thing you do, you come to this screen, which is the DNC screen, we call it. You come down here to the very bottom right, and you're going to click where it says operations in this little box. Left click it once. Now we have the option to add a program, repeat count, or delete program. We're going to add a program. Alright. Now we are wanting to browse to the today's work folder. So what we'll need to do, this is under my documents right now. I'm going to click the down arrow down here, and I'm going to go to the Komo C. Double click that. And this is a 98 Windows 98, so it's fairly slow. I'm going to go and I'm going to double click today's work. Now this is where all the files from the office come in, and to match the paperwork that we have. So now we're in the right place to find the paperwork. Let me look over here at the paperwork for a minute and talk about this. So this is the nesting sheet, and this is generated from Cabinet Vision. Has all the parts and what it's going to look like when it's cutting out, and it has the names and the numbers, and it has a run number down here at the bottom. So when you locate the run number, and this is the run number at the bottom of the page, that's kind of how we're going to find it in the computer. So this is Callan, Solidarit, Tulsa. It's got all that information here. That's the job. And so the run number is R09. Those first two numbers, that's the important part to remember when we're looking at the computer. It's R09, and it's Callan, Solidarit. So when we come over here where we browse to the today's work folder, okay, so you got all these jobs like R00, R01. So I'm going to, you can drag this bar over to kind of see everything on the screen. I'm just going to click right here, and that'll move over to the next one until I get to R09 is what we're looking for. So here is an R09 Solidarit. So it's like 99%. That's what we're looking for. R09. So when we name these files, try to put the run number first, and then something to identify the job uniquely. So our first sheet that we're going to run is, I'm actually not going to run this melamine first. I'm going to run a piece of 1/4 inch white melamine first, which is right here. So the run number is R090301N. So that's the one I want to put in first. What was those last three numbers? 301.
Yeah.
So I'm in the right folder, I'm in the right numbers, so I'm looking for the 301, which is right there. So that's our piece of 1/4 inch. Now that sheet is added. Now the next piece I'm going to put in, I'm going to start putting in these 3/4 inch pieces, which they are the 101 is sheet number 1, 102 is sheet number 2. So everything in this 101 is going to be this same material. So I've got 4 sheets. So if I come back over here, I have put my first sheet in. I go down here and click Add Program again. And it remembered my last location, which is when the R09 solid derrick location. So here's the 101, which is the first sheet. I would say, to be safe, you probably want to look at every sheet, but I happen to have enough confidence that 102 is sheet number 2. The next 3/4 inch sheet of white millimeter is going to be 103, so I'll double click that. That adds that here. And I'm going to add one more sheet of that, 104. That's all I'm going to add for just the moment for this video. Now if I want to delete a sheet, whatever's highlighted right now, if I want to delete 4, I will click there, but if I highlight 5 and go down here and click delete, that deletes that program. And so that is how you get sheets loaded on and ready to go as far as the computer side. Alright, so I've got all my sheets loaded in to the computer, and so the next thing that I'm going to have to do is, the memory is lit up, but remember we opened the DNC schedule, is where the screen where we are loading all our sheets from the computer in. So if I just hit start right where it's at, it's not going to be looking at the DNC, it's going to look at that warm-up program that we hit a while ago to warm it up. Now how I make it look at the memory that is the sheets that we just put in, I had to click this DNC schedule. When I highlight that, now instead of looking to the computer's internal memory, it's going to look to the memory of the DNC schedule, which is where I entered the sheets from Cabinet Vision. So that's all good. One more thing here, maybe one more. So hit this button, it starts our vacuum pump outside. It doesn't activate it, but it does start it. Starts it idling. So we want to make sure that the sheet is up against the pins good. There are 3 pins. One right there. There's a pin. There's a pin. So we want to make sure it's up against the pins good in the corner. We'll spin back around here. Now we turned our vacuum pump on to idle. And now I'm going to hit this vacuum zone 1. We get it focused there. It won't. It says vacuum zone 1. That actually puts a vacuum on the sheet to hold it down. Now we're finally ready to run our first sheet. All I'm going to do is hit the green start button. There we go.